Hi, I'm Anton. I'm with ComicCon.com, and I'm so honored to be joined by the word weaver, the dialogue dazzler, the storyteller extraordinaire, CRC Payne. She is the author who has brought life to Batman Wayne Family Adventures on Webtoon, and it is a blockbuster hit, without a doubt. One of the most enjoyable Batman stories that I've been able to read in recent times. It's so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
It's just great. It's going to be a love fest. I'm just warning you now.
Well, that's good because I love Batman too, so this is perfect.
Oh, it's so good. So I of course, I know your work. I love your work. Can you kind of give our audience just a little kind of quick blurby bio about yourself before we dive in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm CRC Payne. This is my first comic ever, so it was so exciting that I got to write Batman and the Bat Family like right out of the gate. Truly a dream come true. I am having so much fun doing it. I love working with our amazing team over at Webtoon. Our artists are incredible. Starbite just brings everything to life with his art, and it's just this is literally the best job ever.
It's so much fun. And how does one kind of dive in, because you are at this beautiful intersection where Webtoon is without a doubt like the premier web comic platform. It is the spot to go online to read your comics. I mean, it's amazing. And then DC Comics, which is like a legacy brand, it's a titan of the industry. Like, they come together and they're just like, hey, you write this cool story. Like, how does that happen?
I mean, I was so excited to hear about the partnership. I mean, when they brought me into it, I thought, oh, okay, cool, I'm going to write for Webtoon. They're like, actually, we're partnering with DC and we get the DC characters. I was like, no way. It was the coolest thing ever. I was freaking out for, probably 6 months. I couldn't talk to anybody about it. But it was such an amazing idea to bring these two groups together, because so many readers on Webtoon who maybe aren't familiar with the incredible characters over at DC. And then why not bring these characters that have such a long history and such a long life and give them something a little bit new over on Webtoon? It's been really fun to be a part of.
And that new life is so good. It's infectious. I mean, you've crafted like such a robust lived-in version of these well-known and sort of established characters. I've been reading Batman books on the regular, on and off, for most of my life, right? And there's something so pure about this slice of life representation of these characters that, like, as a person who was working at the comic shop, so I was there when we were shelving books and was reading day one, reading the new Bat titles as they were hitting. If this was available at that time in my life, I would have also been like immediately reading the new editions as it came out. It feels so like honest and part of everything that's sort of the established core of what I would say what a Batman fan, right? Like somebody who really loves the Bat characters, loves about just kind of that legacy, loves about that world. And you've done such a justice to them. It's so much fun. Like it really is. And everything's like extraordinarily heartfelt. How did you like land on such specific tones for each of the characters? Because it seems like you've known them all forever. They're so lived in.
Well, thank you so much. First of all, that's so wonderful to hear. I would say, I mean, it started with, I read a lot of Batman comics too. So I had been reading them for, several years before I started writing this. So I already, sort of knew them pretty well. And then when I knew I was going to be writing the comic, I dove right back in and kept reading everything I could get my hands on. And I mean, full credit to all the writers of Batman and the Bat Family who have come before me. They are the ones who have made these characters what they are. And it was really cool to be able to look at their backstories and figure out their voices and see, okay, what is the spirit of this character? Who are they really? And then bring that over into a very different tone from what we see in a lot of Batman comics, where, everybody gets to be just a little bit lighter, a little bit happier. We can focus on the family rather than the supervillains. And it was really fun to be able to do that, to figure out, okay, who is this person why are they so special? Why do we love them? And then bring that over to Webtoon.
It's so much fun. And you really, the way that you highlight each character's sort of nuances and like the way that they play off of each other is, it's very robust, right? I know I use that word, but there's so much like dynamic. One character reacts to different characters in very profound ways. Like Babs's relationship to like Duke and Tim is different than like you know, Jason's relationship to like Duke. It's all, they all have their little intricacies, and it makes everything feel so wonderful. And like, so for me, I'm a big softie, like which is wild when you think about it. You know, Dark Knight is one of my favorite Batman. I like old man Batman. I like dad Batman. Like that's
Yeah.
always, that's kind of my vibe. You know, blame Terry McGinnis for that. Like I just love, I love that kind of fatherly Batman figure.
Yeah.
You know, and so he is the patriarch, right? You got
Mhm.
Alfred sort of bopping around, but it feels like you really allow Bruce to be the loving father to this kind of collection of beautiful misfits. And it's so heartfelt and like wonderful. I love what you've done here. And it does, it feels, it just feels good. Like if nobody's read it yet, like they really, if you guys are new to it, if you know, you're on Comic-Con and you're seeing this for the first time, thank you so much for being here. We love you all. Go read it. Go to Webtoon and find this title and read it. It's just fun. It warms your heart. It really is like a feel good thing. But you do have the villains and you do have the dynamic, and the story is there. It is a Batman title. Like I think there's a certain expectation where people feel like you step away from the traditional comic into a different medium, and that somehow, you know, differentiates or like lessens or something. And I think that is like an old stigma that needs to be thrown out, because what you're doing is, I mean, volume 1's out. It's great, right? You can buy it now.
Yeah, it's amazing. It looks so good.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
If you know, I say go to Webtoon and read, but if you want something tangible to hold, it says the guy with bookshelves upon bookshelves in his office. You can pick up volume 1. It's so good. Volume 2, I think, is October.
Yes,
Early
October, I believe.
just in time for New York Comic Con. So that's a thing. Good season for a book to be coming out for sure. And then as of the time we're recording this, I believe the 100th chapter drops tomorrow,
Yes.
right? The 31st of August.
It'll drop. But I can't believe we're at 100 already. That's it's amazing we got there. Our team is like, oh my gosh, it's just the best. I love that we're at 100.
Well, I mean, I think it speaks to the work that you're doing, right? This isn't something that's a flash in the pan. I mean, there's an audience that's there. There's an audience that craves this content. I think, like for me, longtime fan of Batman, like I love everything that I'm getting from it. Everything is checking all of my boxes. You know, I can go read the print books as they're hitting the shelves from DC. I get, you know, some things from there, but there's such a unique vibe, and I think it's the representation, right? I think that's what really speaks to me, is you've been able to, in Wayne Family Adventures, representation is so strong. And you know, as a personal opinion, I feel that there's a lot of other books that are out there that don't have that. Like I am not shy about speaking about the fact that I use a wheelchair. I've been disabled since birth, and growing up, you know, I had Oracle. I had Barbara Gordon. She was conventionally attractive. She was a teen. She was smart. You know, she was in a relationship. She was self-driven, and that was so powerful for me, because like other than that, I had like the chief from Doom Patrol, who was like a grizzled old man, and Charles Xavier, who got like knocked out of his chair all the time. So I you know, Babs was like this powerful icon for me to look up to and be like, oh man, look, I'm represented in a medium that I love. And then New 52 happens, and they, you know, things change and universes rewrite themselves, and that happens. And I lost that. And it was a little bittersweet, you know, and because I think about things like, what if my wife and I have a kid and she's disabled? Like, my wife's a ginger, that gene's dominant. You know, like I would have my old books to go back to, but I wouldn't have something modern. And like, the Grinch level swelling of my heart that happened when I came upon Oracle in the Webtoons comics being in the chair, and it not being a clunky boxy chair. It's like it's designed as a chair that the wheels are pitched at the right angles, like the foot plates are where they need to be, like real research went here. And then the representation of like all of the other characters that are in this story is so powerful. And I think it speaks to your ability as a creator to make sure that happened. And then like the thing that Webtoon does best, which I think is really elevate so many other voices. How did you make that call? Were you the one that was like, she's got to be in the chair? Like how did all this play out?
Yeah, it was really important to me as we were sort of figuring out, okay, at what point in their lives are they? Because I mean, all of them have had so many iterations of superhero names and costumes and things like that. So we kind of had to establish, all right, at what point in time are we? And I have always loved Babs as Oracle. She's just such a phenomenal character. I think the inner strength that she has is something that is magnetic. I mean, it is, I wanted to keep reading Oracle Babs as soon as I found her. And so when we were putting together the Bat family, in the main continuity of DC, she was back as Batgirl at that point. And so, I wanted to just ask, I was like, can we have Babs as Oracle? And they said yes. And that was really important to me because there is something that is so incredible about being able to see yourself represented in a comic, in a book, in a TV show, what have you. There's something really special about that. And there are large groups of people that don't get to have that regularly. And so all of us on the team, we really wanted to make sure that people could have that they could come to our comic and maybe see themselves represented in a way that they don't get somewhere else. And I'm so proud of the work that we've been doing. I love my team so much for putting in the research, making sure that we're doing this right. Because that was another thing that we really wanted to do. We're like, okay, if we're going to do this, if Babs is going to be in a wheelchair, we want to make sure we do it justice, that it's not just, okay, she's there in a chair. So it's been really amazing. It's been incredible. I've been really honored to be able to tell stories for these characters that touch on thematic issues that don't necessarily we get to see a lot of times, PTSD for Jason, or just resolving conflicts between family members, things like that. And that's been really special. And I'm so honored that DC and Webtoon have been full steam ahead on everything we've pitched them.
It's so refreshing, and like it is difficult to explain to those who see themselves every day in media how powerful it is, and like how much it matters to just be able to see something that most people might see as like a disposable piece of media, something that's like so non-important. But like the fact that the back of her chair is like at the right height for her to be able to navigate, or like she doesn't have armrests, so she's not getting like caught up underneath a desk. It's like you can really tell how much work went into making sure that things feel authentic and like honest. But then there's this really cool thing that happens. This is where I'm going to get all choked up. There's this really cool thing that happens where it's never come up. It's not a plot point. Her disability is not a gimmick, or oh no, I'm mad and angry and sad. It's just an aspect of who she is. And that's so cool. I mean, that's so cool, because you never get to see that. I speak to audiences globally about disability representation and like how important it is, and how like a lot of times I feel like as a disabled person, I'm a very special episode, because it's like, oh, I saw a person in a wheelchair today, and that's it, right? And so I get like that moment to be like, hey, we're just like everybody else, and then I roll off into like the hallway in Bayside, and you never see me again. I get like the one episode in somebody's life, and so like it is so powerful how you were able to craft these characters and not make what they are, right? Not the things that make them different or trope them out, but just allow them to live and exist in this space that like we all know and love. And it's such an important, I mean, Wayne Manor's huge, right? It's like it's a huge piece of pop culture ephemera, and they can all exist here in Gotham. And you do this magical thing that's so important and will matter for like generations to come. And I know that's like a lot of weight, but like it's really, I'm so grateful, and I'm positive that there are people out there who read this and they get excited because they can see aspects of themselves. And it's a testament to, you know, A, the global reach the Webtoon has, and B, the type of content that they're putting out and its ability to speak and elevate to everybody. It's not just like, this is for 40-year-old dudes, or like, this is for, you know, like this particular set of people who likes this particular thing. It's such a universal taste of that world. Blows me away. I'm just delighted. That's why I said earlier, I'm honored that you're here to speak to me, because what you're doing is so powerful, and I thank you for it. It's so cool.
Well, thank you so much. It means a lot to me to hear that. I have to give full credit to a lot of really amazing people in my life who have opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I think just in terms of, you know, at least with disability, in the real world, a lot of times there's just not, the real world is often not built for people with disabilities. And so we are living in a fantasy world here in Wayne Family Adventures. I mean, why can't there be space for that? That was kind of just a very easy question. And one of the things that, again, I'm really proud of my team for putting together.
It's so great. And like, we're going to get 100 tomorrow, right? As of the time of this recording.
Yeah.
This may get released down the road, but 100 will be out. Do we know, because I think we're in chapter 2 now, right? Like, we're in the second arc.
Yeah, we're in season 2. Yep.
Right. So do we know, are we coming close to the end of it? Where are we vibing with that?
Yeah, there's still going to be a few more episodes coming out after 100, with a few more deep character arcs to resolve, and then just, you know, more Bat Family shenanigans. That's what, you know, they happen. So yeah, so there's still going to be a lot more to see. One of the things I'm really excited for is Starbite, our artist, has written a couple of episodes that are awesome. It's his first time writing episodes for Wayne Family Adventures. I think people are really going to love them. So that's coming up too at the end of season 2. That's
super exciting. I love that.
Yeah.
Because the art is stellar, transitioning from the more serious, darker tones to the fun, chibi moments, and
oh yeah.
That also, are we going to see more of the Full Hearts app? Is that a thing that's coming for longtime readers? Is that something we might get to see more of?
You know, it might make a return. I can't make any promises, but that was a really fun episode to write. That came out of a brainstorming session with the producers, and they were like, okay, but what if Jason Todd was on a dating app? And as soon as those words came out of their mouths, I was like, well, yes, that has to happen. Because I think he might be the only one reckless enough to forget that Babs will find it.
Yeah.
Everybody else would be covering their tracks.
It's so cute and like honest and fun, and like feels like something the character would do, though, because he's that brash. Like, it just played. Yeah. I remember reading it for the first time and just full guffawing, like losing my mind, laughing so hard. I was like, this is adorable. I love it. So yeah, I just so fun, so cute. Everything about this title is amazing. If you guys are still listening, which I hope you are, thank you so much for sticking with us. I cannot say enough good things about it. Like, I could go on for another hour and tell you how wonderful it is, but my editor would get mad because we'd be burning tape. So we really exciting, really, really amazing stuff. What's next? Like, I'm assuming you're staying with the title for a while, at least.
As long as they will have me, I will keep writing Wayne Family Adventures. Right now, we're just really excited about the physical book releases. I mean, like we already said, it looks so good, translated from vertical to more traditional layout. They did such a good job. And there's extra material in the back too, for people who have already read the webtoon. So that's kind of fun. But yeah, we're just looking forward to those coming out and working on the last little bit of season 2 here.
That's exciting. And do you have any other projects non Wayne family related that we can look forward to on the
Right
horizon?
now, only Wayne Family Adventures, but I will let you know if anything else comes up.
Please let me be the second person you call. Really, let me know because I'm there. I'll pre-order it. I'm the fry meme to take my money. Like you got me in your pocket. I've got your back on this one for sure. It has been amazing. It has been a delight. I am so excited. Hopefully, when the new book comes out, maybe we'll circle back up and talk about it a little bit more. Or
I
maybe
love that.
season 3 launches, we can see what's going on. But this has been awesome. Thank you.
This has been
Thank
amazing. Thank
everything
you.
you do. No, you did it. You did all the work. I just got to be lucky enough to talk about it. This is all you and your team, like, and the awesome people at Webtoon. Like, this is you guys. Yeah, seriously. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. You can get more of me blubbering like a fool soon, or you can read our at comiccom.com. There are always plenty of articles for you to catch up on all your favorite pop culture news. We are the Comic Con that is online.